Pep Guardiola, the skilled coach who exudes technical genius and visionary leadership, has made an everlasting imprint on the football world. His time at Barcelona and Manchester City attests to his brilliance. Guardiola has won 11 league titles during his tenures with Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Manchester City. But what makes Pep Guardiola one of the world's top coaches? How did he turn Manchester City into one of the most dominant and appealing teams in the league? What are his ideas and approaches' secrets? Let's find out. Pep Guardiola is largely recognized as one of the world's top coaches. As a player and coach, he has won numerous titles and medals, most notably with Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Manchester City. He was a standout midfielder, but his biggest triumph in football came as a manager in 2008-9, when he took over a faltering Barcelona club from Frank Rijkaard and converted it into a treble-winning machine led by a teenage Lionel Messi. His trophy cabinet is overflowing with cutlery as a manager. With Barcelona, he won La Ligue 3 times, as well as the Champions League, Club World Cup, and Copa del Rey twice. He won the Bundesliga 3 times and the DFB Pokal twice while at Bayern Munich. But it is with Manchester City that he has truly struck gold, winning the Premier League 5 times in 6 years. He has also won the League Cup 4 times and the FA Cup once. Guardiola returned to coach Barcelona's B team after his playing career ended in 2007. He was promoted to the senior team a year later. Guardiola was in charge of Barcelona's UEFA Champions League triumphs in 2008-9 and 2010-11. He also guided them to La Liga crowns in each of those seasons, culminating in a treble in 2008-9. Guardiola's most successful season in command of Barcelona came in 2011-12, when they were defeated to the La Liga title by Mourinho's Real Madrid and lost in the Champions League semi-finals to Roberto Di Matteo's Chelsea. Despite Barcelona's Copa del Rey triumph and Lionel Messi's incredible 73-goal tally, Guardiola was unable to surpass his previous season's silverware haul. Guardiola left Barcelona in 2012 to take a break from coaching after this setback, and he returned a year later to Bayern Munich. Guardiola took over as Manchester City manager in 2016, succeeding Manuel Pellegrini. City finished third in the Premier League, behind Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur, in his debut season. The signing of Claudio Bravo as custodian did not pay off, and Antonio Conte was the greatest head coach in 2016-17, having created a successful formation at Chelsea with 3 defenders and Marcos Alonso and Victor Moses as wingbacks. The following season, Guardiola's City dethroned Conte and Chelsea. They cruised to victory, amassing a record 100 points. Under Guardiola, City won 2 league titles in a row in 2018-19, holding off Klopp's Liverpool and going on to win a domestic treble. Their reign over English football was broken momentarily in 2019-20 when Liverpool took the Premier League title. Guardiola has frequently failed to give Manchester City the UEFA Champions League trophy. Despite winning the Premier League and the League Cup with ease in 2017-18, they were defeated in the quarter-finals by Liverpool. A semi-final defeat to Tottenham the next season extended their wait for European triumph. Guardiola's team reached the final in 2021, but were defeated 1-0 by Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. The Premier League remained in Manchester for the 2021-22 season, with City edging out Liverpool on the penultimate day. The citizens were behind 2-0 to Aston Villa early on, but a miraculous 5-minute flurry of goals from Rodri and a brace from Ilkay Gundogan gave City their 5th Premier League title in 4 years. He signed a 2-year contract deal with Manchester City in November 2022, keeping him at the club until 2025. In the 2022-23 season, Guardiola led Manchester City to their 3rd consecutive title and 5th in 6 seasons. City trailed leaders Arsenal by 8 points in April 2023, but went on a 12-game winning streak to catch up. Every team has a head coach who has a definite vision of how the game of football should be played. It is apparent from Guardiola's work that his game model centers around the use of ball possession and intense pressure to build order within his squad while producing disorganization in the opponent. When describing Guardiola's style of play, the Catalan coach said, "Move the opponent, not the ball. Invite the opponent to press. You have the ball on one side to finish on the other." And possession of the ball is only a tool to organize yourself and cause disorganization in your opponent. Interestingly, and maybe to some surprise, Guardiola said, Defensive organization is the cornerstone of everything else I want to achieve in my football. Each squad under his direction clearly accepted the previously stated concept. Nonetheless, minor tweaks were made to fulfill the club's footballing expectations. FC Barcelona had a backline of Abidal, Pique, and Puyol from the start of the transition to the end of the game, due to the positioning of Alves as a midfielder in this game, in order to apply a pressing trap on CR7 with Puyol. But in the end, the team transitions and self-organizes a defensive line of Abidal, Busquets, Pique, and Puyol. Due to FCB's asymmetrical structure, Busquets was tasked with providing balance on the defensive line during transitions in this game. Manchester City lost control when John Stones and Kolarov were positioned as midfielders to generate disorganization in the opposing system. Furthermore, only Otamendi and Fernandinho were in the defensive line. However, Manchester City eventually self-organized to form a defensive line of Kolarov, Fernandinho, Otamendi, and Zabaleta from right to left. Because of the complex system principle of spontaneous emergence, each system displayed a different player organization while in possession of the ball. The concept is that due to the level of players at the coach's disposal, organizational strategies will organically arise within the flow of their game model. For example, when Barcelona lost possession, they had a defensive line of 3 players. Manchester City, on the other hand, had a 2-man defensive line. In summary, even though the team looked disorganized, the system was on the verge of chaos and was able to self-organize due to the coach's game principles for solving the game circumstance. Guardiola's tactical innovations at Manchester City include using a false 9, when a forward lowers deep into midfield to create space for other attackers to go behind the defense. This strategy was adopted by Guardiola with Lionel Messi at Barcelona, Robert Lewandowski at Bayern Munich, and Sergio Aguero at Manchester City. When Aguero was injured or rested, he adopted this technique with De Bruyne or Foden. When 3 defenders make a line at the back instead of 4, it is called a back 3. Guardiola used this strategy to deal with injuries to his center-backs or to match up against clubs that use 2 forwards. By putting his full-backs higher up the pitch, he was able to create greater breadth and depth in the attack. Inverted fullbacks. When fullbacks move into the central midfield rather than remaining wide on the flanks. Guardiola employed this strategy to gain numerical superiority in midfield or to overload one side of the pitch. He also employed this strategy to provide extra diagonal passing alternatives or to swiftly adjust the play. Guardiola's philosophy and techniques include the recruitment and development of players who fit his system and vision. Kevin De Bruyne, Raheem Sterling, and Ruben Dias are examples of players he has discovered and signed who fit his style of play. Existing players such as Fernandinho, Ilkay Gundogan, John Stones, and João Cancelo have also seen their performances and responsibilities improved and modified under his tutelage. Furthermore, he has developed and promoted young academy prospects such as Phil Foden, Liam Delap, Cole Palmer, and James McAtee. In the world of football, Pep Guardiola's coaching at both Barcelona and Manchester City has been nothing short of revolutionary. His tactical brilliance, tireless pursuit of excellence, and unflinching dedication to his footballing ideology have propelled both clubs to unparalleled heights. His coaching abilities have left an indelible imprint on the football world, demonstrating the force of invention, tactical genius, and a never-ending pursuit of excellence. What are your thoughts on Guardiola's coaching style? What are your favorite memories of his time at both clubs? Tell us in the comments section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more fascinating videos. We'll be back with a new video soon. Until then, bye.